Liverpool fans, this is huge. Slot issues a warning. Klopp to Madrid. Rumors explode, and a massive referee twist shocks the Premier League. Make sure you subscribe now for daily Liverpool updates. Arne Slot slams state of Premier League in subtle Arsenal dig. Not a joy to watch. Reigning Premier League champions, Liverpool thumped West Ham 5-2 at Anfield at the weekend with the Reds, now adopting a very different tactic under boss Arne Slot. Liverpool boss Arne Slot claims that Premier League clubs' reliance on set pieces hurts his football heart, despite also using the tactic. A number of clubs have become regular scorers from set pieces over the past few seasons. League leaders Arsenal have harnessed the reputation as one of the most dangerous sides in the Premier League from corners and free kicks, and added to that with the weekend's win against Chelsea. Last season's champions Liverpool have also followed suit, having scored from more set pieces than any of their rivals from dead balls since the turn of the year. On the change in tactic, Slot said, "First of all, you have to accept it. I think it's mainly here in the Premier League. If I watch other leagues, I don't think there's so much emphasis on set pieces. If I watch an Eredivisie game, I see goals being disallowed and fouls on goalkeepers being given, and I'm like, wow, that's a big difference. Here, you can almost hit a goalkeeper in his face, and the referee still says, just go on. Do I like it? My football heart doesn't like it. If you ask me, thinking about football, I think about the Barcelona team from 10 to 15 years ago. Every Sunday evening you were hoping they would play. Now, most of the games I see in the Premier League are not a joy to watch, but it's always interesting because it's so competitive, and that is what makes this league great, because there is so much competitiveness. Everyone can win against everyone, but just as someone who loves to watch football without being interested in winning or losing, just to be enjoyed, I think there's a big difference between now and 3 or 4 years ago in the Premier League. Having added to Liverpool's expertise from set pieces, Slot believes that the change in tactic could be here to stay. He added, not only because of the set pieces but also because teams have become so much stronger. But we are not going to change it. Maybe in 5 to 10 years' time things will change again. What I wouldn't be surprised of is if you go to an under-16s game somewhere, you see them completely focused on set pieces, and that's the new reality. I have my opinion about it, but it doesn't change. In another news, Arne Slot spots Cody Gakpo overthinking after change in Liverpool forward. Cody Gakpo scored his third goal since November in Liverpool's 5-2 victory over West Ham on Saturday, with Arne Slot explaining the forward had been overthinking and making different decisions during his goal drought. Arne Slot believes Cody Gakpo was being influenced by his goalless run, as he acknowledged the Liverpool forward needed his strike against West Ham. Gakpo netted only his third goal since November when finding the back of the net in the 5-2 Premier League triumph over the Hammers at Anfield on Saturday. The Netherlands international, who had previously spurned a simple chance, has been subjected to abuse on social media by a portion of the Liverpool support in recent months, largely due to his lack of goals. While rejecting claims that Gakpo was battling with self-belief, Slot hopes the goal will help settle the Reds winger. I was happy because it was the 4-1 goal, so that gave us an even more comfortable cushion, but even more happy for him to score because I think he needed that goal, said the Reds manager, whose side traveled to rock-bottom Wolves on Tuesday. I don't think his confidence was gone or away in that regard, but I did see a few times recently that he maybe made different decisions than I'm used to from him. That doesn't always have to mean it's a lack of confidence. But when players are not scoring for a longer and longer time, they start to think more about their direction, and overthinking is not the best thing you can do. I think that's something different to confidence. These players, whether it's Cody or Mo or whoever, they know they can have a certain spell without scoring. They've had it before in their careers, and they know they will eventually start scoring again. There are periods of time where you don't put that much effort in and the ball just falls to you and you can score. And there are periods of time in your career where you try so hard, and try too hard and overthink. And that's usually not the best thing to do if you want to score a goal. Slot had previously expressed his desire last week for greater goal output from his attacking players, with Hugo Ekitike, who netted the opening goal against West Ham, enduring a 4-match barren spell, while Mohamed Salah remains without a Premier League goal since November. "I don't judge them only on the goals they score," the Liverpool head coach remarked on Monday. "I judge them on different things as well. Attackers are also judged on the fact if we keep a clean sheet, as defenders are judged on the fact if we can score from open play, because they have to create promising situations for our attackers. But for our attackers, I know how they think and what they want, and that is scoring goals." In another news, Liverpool gets new referee verdict after Arne Slot complaint about Mohamed Salah incident. Liverpool and Manchester United have had similar refereeing incidents and in different outcomes in recent weeks. With Arne Slot asked about the inconsistency earlier today, Liverpool head coach Arne Slot says Marc Guéhi should have seen red against his side recently, pointing to the decision to send off Maxence Lacroix of Crystal Palace during its defeat at Manchester United this weekend. The two similar incidents resulted in different outcomes, with Lacroix determined to have prevented Matheus Cunha from taking a clear shot at goal, and Guéhi only cautioned for his tug on Mohamed Salah. Lacroix conceded a penalty while Guéhi let go just in time. Slot's argument was that both punishments should have been the same in terms of the colour of the card produced, but the former referee Dermot Gallagher, speaking on Sky Sports' Ref Watch segment, disagreed with that verdict. A few weeks ago, he said that Guéhi only getting a yellow card was correct because there was, just about, a covering defender. In the case of Lacroix, Cunha, even though he didn't have the ball under control, was in slightly more space. With the Lacroix challenge, the contact starts outside the penalty area but continues inside, which means the decision to award a penalty was correct. And Gallagher believes that it was a red card because had the Brazilian forward not been impeded, he would have controlled the ball and been through on goal. "It is a red card because if you look there, the ball is just in front of him," Gallagher said. "The ball goes to Dean Henderson because he takes him down." Slot, however, was not in agreement. He felt that the decision to send Lacroix off was correct, but said that something similar should have benefited his team last month. "Very comparable," Arne Slot said in his press conference when asked about the similarities between the two challenges, with one resulting in a red card and the other not. "The only difference is that Mo was pulled by the shirt and the Palace one was by the shoulder. I see a similar distance, and maybe the distance between Guéhi and Dias was even bigger than Palace's two centre-backs. The Manchester United one is for me a red card. I said so many times it was clear for me that the one from Marc Guéhi was a red card as well." Lacroix will be suspended as Crystal Palace takes on Tottenham on Thursday. Manchester United, now only 3 points ahead of Liverpool in the Premier League standings, faces Newcastle on Wednesday. Since losing to Manchester City, Liverpool has won each of its fixtures. It has Wolves next at Molineux. Liverpool.com says, "The Cunha and Salah incidents are similar, but there is just about a few more potential covering defenders in the latter example. There have been far more egregious VAR decisions this season." In another news, Klopp one step closer to Real Madrid job as Liverpool, Man City are hit by jaw-dropping agreed deals. Real Madrid appear willing to honor 8 transfers in the summer as former Liverpool boss Jurgen Klopp demands incomings and outgoings, according to reports. The German left Liverpool in 2024 as one of the most successful managers in the club's history, but admitted that he was very keen for a break away from football management. Klopp recently took up a role as head of global soccer for the Red Bull Group, in a move that saw him draw criticism from some fans in Germany. Despite that, Klopp has still been linked with a number of management jobs in world football and is the current favorite with the bookmakers to become the new Real Madrid head coach in the summer. After sacking Xabi Alonso in January, Real Madrid immediately appointed Álvaro Arbeloa as their new manager, but there have already been rumors that he will be replaced. As well as Klopp, Aston Villa's Unai Emery, Benfica's Jose Mourinho, and former Real Madrid head coach Zinedine Zidane have been among the names linked with the job at the Bernabeu. Reports in Spain on Monday now indicate that Klopp is one step closer to becoming the new Real Madrid head coach after he and the club agreed to pursue 8 deals. Klopp has been successful in demanding that Fran Garcia, Dani Ceballos, Franco Mastantuono, and David Alaba will all leave the Bernabeu in the summer. Borussia Dortmund centre-back Nico Schlotterbeck is among those set to join him at Real Madrid, with President Florentino Perez confident of closing the deal for around €50 million. Klopp will arrive at Real Madrid with Manchester City midfielder Rodri, with the Spaniard the main non-negotiable signing from the former Liverpool boss. For his part, Rodri would be delighted with the idea of returning to La Liga, and Man City could be forced to negotiate his sale for a reasonable price, as he has no intention of renewing his deal, which expires in the summer of 2027. Young Juventus forward Kenan Yildiz, who has been heavily linked with a move to Liverpool, is another player that Real Madrid have agreed to pursue in the summer, alongside another recommendation in the form of Paris Saint-Germain midfielder Vitinha. Klopp intrigued by the long-term vision at Real Madrid. Our sources have dismissed any rumors that Klopp could return to the Premier League as a manager, but the former Liverpool boss could be tempted by a move to Real Madrid. Team Talk were told earlier this month that Klopp is intrigued by the long-term vision being shaped in the Spanish capital, particularly with the club entering a new era built around Jude Bellingham, Endrick, and a squad primed for another cycle of dominance. Transfer expert Fabrizio Romano revealed last month that there is admiration for Klopp from certain figures within the board, but that there had been no direct negotiations or formal steps. Speaking on his YouTube channel, Romano stated, "Recent comments from the agent of Jurgen Klopp suggested that both Manchester United and Chelsea made approaches when Klopp announced his departure from Liverpool. However, both clubs have firmly denied any advanced or concrete discussions." Klopp was very clear publicly that he wanted time away from management after many intense years at Liverpool. He remains fully committed to his role within the Red Bull project. Regarding Real Madrid, there is admiration for Klopp from certain figures within the board, but at this stage, there are no direct negotiations or formal steps. More Real Madrid news. Schlotterbeck deal takes shape as Liverpool duo remain on list. Diario AS insists that Real Madrid have a key advantage in their attempts to sign Schlotterbeck because of their positive relationship with Borussia Dortmund, and that has put them in a strong position to seal a deal. Although Rodri and Vitinha are the midfielders mentioned in the earlier report in Spain, our sources indicate that Real Madrid are also interested in Alexis Mac Allister, as well as Dominic Szoboszlai, who could be set to get a new bumper contract. Real Madrid have added Mac Allister as a preferred option for the summer transfer window as they look to overhaul their midfield. There is now a growing feeling around Madrid that a deal can be done for Mac Allister in the summer transfer window. In another news, Rob Page details major factor behind Liverpool youngsters' huge improvement. Liverpool under-21s are flying, and one youngster is at the heart of that development. Kieran Morrison is thriving under Rob Page's influence, with Arne Slot keeping a watchful eye on his development. Rob Page believes Kieran Morrison's standards have reached unprecedented new heights since being handed the captain's armband at under-21 level. The youngster demonstrated those qualities once again on Sunday when he provided another virtuoso two-goal showing in Liverpool's Premier League 2 win over Tottenham Hotspur. Morrison, who made his first team debut in October and has been named on the bench for 6 senior games this season, has become one of the shining lights in Liverpool's youth ranks. The versatile winger has netted 12 goals in 15 league appearances, and his brace against Spurs continued Liverpool's impressive form at under-21 level. The Reds have won 7 of their 8 league matches since the turn of the year, a run that has coincided with Morrison's improved output. The 19-year-old has provided 12 goal involvements in that period, while he also scored the only goal in Liverpool's UEFA Youth League exit to Zelina last month. That is a vast upgrade on the first half of the campaign, when Morrison delivered just 2 goals and an assist in his first 8 league appearances, and he has thrived since Page has entrusted him with greater responsibility. Giving him the armband has given him another lift, the under-21's head coach told Liverpool.com. "We've given him that responsibility, and he's absolutely shining with it." Morrison joined Liverpool from Manchester United in 2019 and has been a regular for the under-21s since the start of the 2024-25. After initially struggling with the jump from under-18s, where he previously dazzled, the attacker has refined his game this season under Page, focusing greater attention on the minute details that can enhance performances. Inheriting the captaincy in January was in recognition of his more mature approach. "I saw from day one he had ability, but there were certain things he was doing in and around, not just on the field, off the field," said Page. "So I've absolutely drilled that into him, and he's taken it on board." Like I said, giving him the armband as well has made him step up and say, well, I can't be the class clown anymore and I have to lead by example. He's doing that and some, and I'm so proud of him. Kieran wants to please people. It's a great trait to have, so it's nice for us to be able to give him those moments, and some players can't handle the pressure of being captain. Some people rise to the occasion, and he's absolutely done that. He relishes it. Proof of Morrison's elevated standards were evident for onlookers at the AXA Training Centre on Sunday. The Northern Irish Youth International was the standout performer against Tottenham. He moved the ball decisively, routinely carried a threat with his incisive runs from the right wing, and he created several chances for teammates. As has often been the case in recent months, Morrison also netted 2 excellent goals. The first, to get Liverpool back on level terms, saw him cut inside and bend a shot into the far corner before he netted the final goal of the game via a powerful strike with his weaker right foot inside the box. "The right foot goal for me was exceptional," said Page. "He's so quick off the first 2 yards and the power he gets, and that's his wrong foot. It's not his preferred foot, so. But he practices in training, and there's no surprise that when he produces moments like that, because he works so hard through the week." For now, starring at youth team level is a barometer of Morrison's development. Soon, it won't be enough. He, like Trey Nyoni and Rio Ngumoha, wants to establish himself as a first-team regular. In order to achieve that, Morrison must continue dominating games at under-21 level. "Yeah, but he drives that himself," said Price, the former Wales coach who has helped countless youngsters bridge that gap. "I thought if I needed to tell him that, because he was showing signs of being complacent, we would. Me and Jay, Spearing, would absolutely nail him on it straight away, but there's no need. And Trey and Rio, when they come down, there's no complacency, there's no air of arrogance where they go. Now I'm a first-team player. There's none of that whatsoever. So that speaks volumes about the academy that we've got here and how we've kept the players grounded." In another news, Liverpool legend shares damning never-seen-before Mohamed Salah verdict. Mohamed Salah is yet to show his best form this season and could complete a summer transfer away from Liverpool, having not scored in the Premier League for 4 months. Liverpool legend Steve Nicol is stunned by Mohamed Salah's drop-off in form this season, saying he's never seen anything like it. Salah has endured a quiet season by his high standards, scoring 7 goals and providing 8 assists in 29 games for Liverpool. The Egyptian forward hasn't scored in the Premier League since the 2-0 victory against Aston Villa at the beginning of November. That's a far cry from last season, when Salah was arguably the best player on the planet. The former Chelsea star scored 34 goals and provided 23 assists in 52 appearances for the Reds during the 2024-25 campaign to fire Arne Slot's team to the Premier League title. Nicol, who spent 13 years at Liverpool during his playing days, believes he's never seen a player's form drop by so much in such a short space of time. "I know that we're employed here because we played and we've seen almost everything," Nicol told ESPN. I've never seen this. How somebody can go from the top of the mountain and just disappear so quickly is absolutely scary. I've never seen it before ever. I've no idea." When asked if Salah is suffering from a lack of confidence and irreversible decline, Nicol replied, "It's hard to argue that those aren't 2 of the problems. I mean, seriously, go figure. I don't think he could answer it. If you actually spoke to Mo Salah himself and asked him, he wouldn't be able to tell you, right? I bet he wouldn't." Salah will be hoping to regain his form sooner rather than later, as there's still plenty for Liverpool to play for this season. The Reds are 5th in the Premier League table, 3 points behind both Manchester United in 3rd and Aston Villa in 4th, and 3 points ahead of Chelsea in 6th. A top 5 finish should be enough to secure Champions League soccer for next season. Speaking of the Champions League, the Reds will be determined to win that competition after reaching the last 16, where they will face Galatasaray. Liverpool has also reached the 5th round of the FA Cup and will take on Wolves at Molineux on Friday. But once the season is done, there's a good chance Salah will leave Liverpool after his tough campaign. The veteran, who turns 34 in June and is out of contract in 2027, continues to be linked with a move to the Saudi Pro League. What do you think, Reds? Is Slot right? Is Klopp really Madrid-bound? Drop your thoughts below, like the video, and don't forget to subscribe for more Liverpool news.